And in the upper right now, in the red, the greatest Terran player to ever do it. He's won 7 GSLs. Let's see if he wins this one too. It's Maru. And in the bottom left, in the blue here, he's for Basilisk, the greatest Zerg. It's Serral. And as we talk about this, I want to talk about something that we're seeing Serral do right now because it is novel. It is brand new. It's like the last month, and we've been paying attention to it. We've been talking about it really the entirety of that time, but it is still new, and I still want to talk about it. Serral is doing the Eric build, or he's doing the Eric opener, because realistically, it's not a build in as much as it is an opener. It's a way to get into the game, and it seems to be a direct response to what we see Maru doing. So, a couple things to point out here. Maru, 2 barracks in the wall. This is something that we saw special invent Maru kind of make a little bit more visible, and then something that ByuN really popularized. Right? You have a couple ways you can do it. You build 2 racks, you build 3 Reapers, and out of there you can do a 4 rack stim timing, you can do a 2-1-1, you can do a ton of stuff. But for now, we're gonna have to pay attention to what Maru does. But anyway, this was killing a lot of Zergs. It's a lot of pressure on the map. It's a lot of tempo. It's a really cool adaptation. That, by the way, again, it reminds you that even with map balance changes, the meta can evolve quite a bit. And even with no map changes, the meta can evolve quite a bit. But anyway, so this is what we've seen the top Terran players doing. And as a response, one thing we've seen, really, I think first it was Solar doing, and then we've started to see this get adopted more and more, is 15 hatch, 15 pool, gas cancel on both. And what this does, it means your hatch is down faster, which means creep is a little bit further out on the map. And also you get your queens faster. It means you get your lings faster. It means that you're in a much better position to contest the Reaper, as Maru just barely doesn't get a drone. And he's gonna try to get a second one. Gas cancel running away. Lings, are they gonna show up from the backside? No. Instead, Serral wants to run onto the other side of the map here. Let's see what he's gonna be able to get done for himself. The Lings, I guess they're gonna move in just a little bit later. By the way, this is not the earliest. This is not the heavy pressure build coming out of this. It's only the 3 Reapers. It's not additional barracks after that one. So now Serral, he might be able to delay this command center here. And behind this, Maru is the one that is getting greedy. It's a 3rd command center on the way. Is now the SCV pulled away. And look at that. Maru tried to drag the Lings out of the base so he could send another SCV down and make sure he would be happy. And now he can't because the Lings stay in the main base here. It's so annoying what Serral's doing right now. And Maru, he has to pull the Reapers back home. He's gonna get the Lings, but it's a full scout. It's a delayed natural. It's a delayed 3rd. It's a delayed factory. That is just, God, minor alterations. Minor differences there. And Serral, how he wants to play the game with massive impact. And now we get to see the second part of how Serral has been playing this game. He's going the Eric build, right? 15-15. Gas cancel on both. You lose a little money, but you do, of course, make sure you do make sure as the Reaper will go down. Drone, one will find him. You gotta kill it, Maru. He's gonna get 3 actually. Never mind. So it's not as painful as I thought. And a Reaper's gonna get out as well. And well, okay, so Maru did see the lair timing. That is the one saving grace. Well, not even one saving grace. That is actually such a fantastic scout there for Maru. He gets 3 drones. He sees the lair timing. The Reapers weren't super relevant anyways. That's really nice for Maru. But anyway, the other thing we have to talk about here is what we're gonna see out of this from Serral. Because step 1, you go the Eric build, right? You get that quicker natural. You get that quicker, or you get that quicker spawning pool at the expense of, well, at the expense of your economy just a little bit, but it's fine for the most part. Out of this though, we see Serral, he gets a very quick roach spawn even before his 3rd base. We see the lair go down even before his 3rd base, and he gets roaches, but this is not normally a roach timing. Even as he is building this pipeline, this highway of creep through the middle of the map, this is not an all-in out of Serral. At least normally it's not. He might choose to pump the roach count here really hard. But what this is a pressure, but more importantly, it's taking advantage of the timing, and it's punishing the Terran for just how greedy that Maru has chosen to play out of this, off this 2 racks opener. And ideally, it also means you can start to punish some of the add-ons. But for now, this Banshee is here. Now, there is no cloak, so the Banshee will not be this end-all, be-all. And realistically, this shouldn't break Maru. He's got bunkers, he's got a tank done here, he's got medevacs. He should be fine, but this might, at the very least, force add-ons back. It will force the barracks to go back. In fact, one of these barracks may just fall, so it is value. And keep your eyes on the production tab, because behind this, Serral is droning behind this. This is pressure, but it's not all in. But what this does do more than anything else, it means that Serral has incredible creep spread on the map right now. It means that Maru has to be a lot more careful. It means that third base is going to take a while. In fact, it's going to get blocked by creep tumors. He's going to have to spend a scan. He's going to have to spend a scan to make this happen. And that is just, I mean, that is so tremendously expensive for Maru right now. And this Overseer will finally go down. And look at this. It's 6 minutes. It's 6:20 in. And an infestation bit's already down for Serral. So that's the next stage of this. As long as we've been playing Legacy of the Void, these quick roach timing, these roach ravager timings, more often than not, unless it's a 1-run timing, which technically this is for Serral, but not really, it's been to get to the quick hive. It's been to get to quick ultras or mutilating, or just even just a quick quick adrenaline, quick vipers, whatever it is. As nice scan there from Maru, denies all the creep. And this is a 6:20 infestation bit. Hive is gonna get started before 7 minutes. And I can't look at that creep spread right there. The tumors were just nothing to nourish them. They're gonna be fine anyways. So Serral's creep spread is ludicrous on the map right now. It truly is insane. And again, 1-1 on these roaches because again, he doesn't have link speed just yet. He's gonna sit on this for the time being. And Maru is doing a solid job of bringing it back into line. But even still, I mean, immediately the queens go forward, and we're looking at this game. And Serral had creep in Maru's third at like the 6:30 mark. And not just close to his third, in his third, which is just unprecedented. So for now, the drop's gonna pop out here. There are no upgrades. I mean, there's not even combat shields. Hive, it will be done at around the same time. Not quite, but Hive being started on the same time combat shields is being started is kind of insane. It's ludicrous. As the drop gets a couple drones, that's gonna be about it for the most part. And this Hive timing, I mean, Hive is going to be done around the same time that 1-1 for Serral is. This is just, I cannot overemphasize just how incredible this timing that Serral's been able to build for himself off of this timing, off of this opener that feels like it shouldn't be able to be greedy. But the pressure punishes the Terran greed in such a way that it allows Serral to be greedy anyways. And yeah, it's link speed, and as soon as link speed is done, Adrenal gets started. This is just so, this is crazy. And now Vipers just about done. Bailey speed's on the way. Generally, when a Zerg player, they start their Bailiness, they start it in such a way that they want Bailing speed to get started pretty much as the Hive completes, or as the layer completes. For Serral, he wants Bailing speed to be able to get started as the Hive completes. Because that's how that works, right? Clearly. But anyway. Serral now triple Evo. He's on 4 bases. 5th base on the way. The craziest thing about this, by the way, is that this is Serral's first max out. His economy is not incredible. He's only on 79 drones. But because he has kept the Terran players so contained, he can afford to be greedy. He can afford to just sit on the map and spend so much of his money on things that's not an army because the Terran cannot pressure at all. Because his creep spread is just bonkers. Because Maru decided to be greedy off of this 2 racks opening. And now we look at this. And Maru, yeah, sure, fine. He's going to show up on the map. This isn't going to find much. Now, he's going to target some drones down. That's very nice of him. But even still, I mean, it feels like we're almost past the point where double drops are something that are worth doing. I mean, that's not even true. Double drops are always worth doing. But our Ultra Cavern's going to be done before 10 minutes. And, you know, in fairness, we're starting to get to that point where Ultra Cavern before 10 minutes, not the craziest thing. Dark, for example, also likes to play a roach an early Hive style, and he'll tend to get Ultra Cavern done right around the 10-minute mark. 10, 11 minutes. So it's not quite as insane as some of these other timings were, but even still, I mean, Adrenal done before +1 is done is just what, like, the mind is boggled. But for now, Serral finally starting to get aggressive on the map here. This planetary just doesn't seem like it's going to be able to stay alive. There are so many Banelings. Serral, he can tap it down if he would like, but he's going to save the gas for now. So planetary will fall. Maru back onto 3 bases. And Serral doesn't even have to spend energy on the Vipers. That being said, though, I want to point something out here from Maru that I really like, and we've started to see some Terran players do. And that is this extra Viking idea, right around the Zerg hive timing. He's got 2 Vikings. Is that a ton? No, but it does make it just a little bit harder for the Vikings, for Serral to be able to play with them. And that means, of course, that moving forward here, it's just a little bit harder for them to get on top of the tanks on the back line. But that's a great blinding cloud. The Ghosts, they're kind of zoned out here as well. And now SCVs are going to get all stacked up, but Serral doesn't care. He just wants to end the game right now. It's only 10 workers going down. The Banelings continue to go in, but here come the Roaches on the right side, and the Ghosts cannot get their snipes off. The Roaches on top of them. Serral just breaks Maru on the timing before the Ultras are even out on the map. It doesn't matter. Maru loses his 4th. He loses the 3rd. He loses this game. What am I looking at right now? That build from Serral was just... it was ridiculous. In the upper left now, in the blue, he's up a game and just playing really perfectly. It's Serral. And the bottom right, in the red, down a game, just not able to find an opening. It's Maru. And of course, as we get in here into this game number 2 of our, hopefully, 5-game epic series between Serral and Maru, 2 of the best players to ever do it, I would like to remind you all that if you want games from Maru, from Serral, from ByuN and Raynor and Cure and, I don't know, Max Pax and Hero and all of these awesome players, only certified bangers every single day of the week, hit that sub button below this video because, again, videos go up every single day of the week, like this video. And let me know, I mean, how do you feel about this way that Serral is playing? Because it doesn't feel like he should be able to get away with what he had, but he did anyways. And of course, if you want to catch me live, I'm live at the very least on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. Generally off replays Mondays for EPT North America when I have the time, and at least one day on the weekend to try to catch the weekend crowd. So that's twitch.tv/BeoMulf. But we have to point this out. Neither Serral nor Maru in this game number 2 are doing the weird stuff. Maru, this is a Reaper expand. This is what Terrans have been doing since the beginning of time. And Serral, 16, 18, 17. What Zergs have been doing, maybe not since the beginning of time, but at least since Legacy of the Void, at least since 2015. So I'm interested to see how this game goes. I mean, Maru got some value with his Reapers. He killed like 4 drones. Force cancels on others, but I mean, ooh, this Reaper here, nah, it's not gonna get a drone. But even still, finds some value and forces the drone off the line a little bit, or Serral makes a mistake and pulls the drone off the line. So Reaper for now just being a little bit obnoxious. And now, unfortunately for Maru, he does take a little bit too much damage on the Reaper, so he can't contest the creep tumor, which means that the connection between the natural and the 3rd is not going to be quite as contestable. It's not going to be quite as abusable as Maru would like, as especially as he's going to be going kind of Reaper Hellion here, maybe Hellion Banshee off the top of it. But Maru wants to get greedy, and I feel like I'm telling the same story that well, this is still a 3-base 2-1. This is still a 2-1-1, but it is a 3-base 2-1-1. It is a TY 2-1-1. And by the way, Serral gets a scout. Now, it's not going to be a full scout, I don't think. He's not going to see the 3rd base. And the funny story is, if he would. If he continued on his original path, he would see that 3rd. But instead, you know, this is going to be enough. He sees the 2nd barracks. He sees the factory. Sees the reactor on it. Sees this building something. And that means that there's a 3rd base on the way. Realistically, you either 2-1-1 and you don't really build anything out of the factory and you just go straight into the starport. You hit that quick timing. Or you do, and it's the 3rd base behind it. So Serral should have a really solid understanding of what his opponent's doing in this game, and that means That 2 medevacs, 16 Marines, stim combat shields are going to run across the map around 5:30-ish, 6 minutes. And that means that Serral's going to have about 36 lings ready for that. Maybe a little less if he builds more queens, but around those numbers. The other side of that is that Serral can drone to his heart's content. Although, unfortunately for him, he did build about 3 more sets of lings, did build about 6 more lings before he quite got the scout, before he quite saw everything that was happening. So, can't be quite as greedy as he would like to be, because again, you can get away with, and in fairness, also there are more Hellions on the map, so maybe he just wants to be careful there, because you can get away with building very few lings against the 2-1-1. Again, the Hellions do make it a little bit more complicated, but even still. Now, Serral is single evo on this, because he knows that this pressure coming out of Maru, often you'll go for like a 5 racks timing out of this before the third. Now, as I said, well, no, you're not. What am I saying? This is the TY 2-1-1. There's already that third base on the way. But even still, this does lead into pressure behind that. That does lead into committed pressure pretty much as soon as the 2-1-1 first hits. So Serral going single eBay or single evo, getting a second evo pretty quickly after that. But again, just getting Carapace first, making sure you spend less gas, making sure you get more workers out before things happen in earnest is going to be pretty nice for Serral right now, as the Reaper will go down, but Creep Tumor does fall on the left side. And Serral is really not being greedy with this. As game one, I mean, this was game one. We already have the infestation pit on the way, but Serral's, again, he's not opting into that level of greed. In fact, his fourth base is pretty late, all things considered, but lings onto the third base are going to deny mining for just a little bit of time. Maru, no, he's not going to get the lings in, but he does force the Hellions home. That being said, let's see what happens here. So it's not the full complement of 16 Marines. It's like 14. And with the Queens here with Creep ready, I get to Creep Tumor, but I don't really think that Maru's going to be able to get too much done with this. So now finally, Serral's got them. Wait, did Serral not have the lair until... Yeah, okay, he doesn't. This is actually going to be a little bit of a tough hold for Serral moving forward, because his Baneling Nest, yeah, is done. He didn't get the lair. He was really cheap on that gas. And that means that, well, Baneling Speed is not going to be done before 8 minutes, probably, which means he's going to have to hold on Ling Queen for quite a while in this game. Ling Queen slow Banes, which just does not feel good against this aggression of the Terran. That being said, Maru is not quite ready to really open the taps just yet. His 1-1 is 2/3 of the way done. Combat shields halfway done, 2/3 of the way done here. So those the upgrades you really want. So Banelings now, they're just going to move forward. Target fire from Maru gets 1. If this was ByuN, that would be all 5. But he forces Serral to trade some energy out. But it really does feel like we're just waiting right now for that first hammer blow to really hit us. Now the 5th base will get denied for a time. Hellions, I mean, the time of the Hellion is done. They will fall. They get some juicy shots, but Lings, they got +1 armor at this point. They are going to be fine for the most part. Now Baneling Speed is on the way, but again, it's that 8-minute mark where it really is going to happen. And Maru finally getting to the point where he theoretically can start to get aggressive on the map, but this is Maru. It's not ByuN. It's not Clem. Maru already has his 4th base on the way. This is not all roads lead to 8 Rex. Maru is very happy to take this game late, and as we saw in the Maru and Serral series in the group stage, Serral's late game is impeccable. As we saw in the Serral Max Pack series, Serral's late game is impeccable. But it's also one of those things where if you're not ByuN, if you're not Clem, it feels so hard to break him in the mid game that it almost doesn't feel like there's a choice. And in fairness, there have been times where Zerg players, pro Zergs, have said, yeah, Maru is literally unbeatable past 25 minutes. You just cannot touch him. So now we just get to see whether that is going to be the Maru that we get to see here today. Game 1, he wasn't allowed to get there. Game 1, Serral hit a 7-minute hive, and it's like, okay, well, good luck. But this time, Maru's 2-2 is on the way. He's got his 4th base done. It's floating on over to location right now. We should see a Ghost Academy get started eventually. But again, when you're a Terran player and you don't get any damage to the Zerg at all, it does feel a little scary. So now medevac with a medevac, a couple Marines in. They're going to try to boost it into the main base, but Queens are here. Now, finally, Maru effective pressure on the left side. Widowmine is going to go massive. My goodness, that Widowmine. Can I click on it? Yeah, 24 kills, and most of them Banes. Massive, massive hit there coming out of Maru. And that pretty much justifies that drop. Not going to lie. That was a lot of Baneless that just went down. 9 Banes, 42 Lings to hit the deck over the course of this game. And now that double drop into the fourth base here. And they get out, a decent amount of them get out before the Lings start to arrive. Now, ooh, a lot of damage on that medevac, but Serral, he's not going to be able to stay in range of it. So now 2-2 is very close to completion here. But it's not done, not just yet. And Serral just going for the big hammer blow once again. This double drop of Maru is scary. This attack from Serral, what the world is Maru supposed to do? Widowmines, they're going to kill as much as they save. And the Marines, they go down. Is Maru just kind of feels dead here again. Where's Maru's army? Like, the army supplies are pretty equal. Widowmine doesn't find anything. 13 workers go down. It's only going to get worse here. Where in the hell is Maru's army? What just happened? 27 workers go down. Maru's army's finally coming back home. And we talked about Maru wanting to get to the late game. You don't get to the late game by doing this. Serral, like, on this 2-2 timing, that was a 10-second window. That was a 10-second window there where Maru had 1-1. Serral had 2-2. Serral, he just kind of killed him with it. 48 workers only. Maru now massively supply blocked. Army supply, Serral's still in the lead. He's building 24 Lings at a time. And now Infestation Pit's on the way. Now Burrow's on the way. And the crazy thing is, Serral could have gotten more. He sectioned 10 Banes off onto that third base, and that is maybe another 10, 15 SCVs dying. You don't see Maru lose games like this. You really don't. But somehow anyways, Serral just killed Maru like this. And, you know, maybe I'm not giving Serral, or maybe I'm not giving Maru the benefit of the doubt, because I have certainly cast Serral versus Maru series where Serral did this exact thing. I think back to King of Battles 2, that game on Blackburn. Very similar situation. Serral floods into the natural. He floods into the third. You think Maru's dead. He's down below 50 workers. He loses a base even. And then Maru grinds it out over the next 20 minutes. Trade after trade after trade. Gets into the late game there. Forces Serral to play his game. And eventually he beats Serral. Eventually he wins the series. And it really does break Serral's back. But it still feels really hard. It feels really difficult for Maru to be able to do that one. So for now, the ball's in Maru's court. We have to see him do something right here. And this triple drop on the north side, trading fairly well, is a solid start. Moving his army on the bottom side is a solid start here. But often at Terran in this game state, he wants to be ahead in supply against Ling Bane. And Serral just, it's not happening. So Maru has to give this position up. And again, Banelings, Lings, they're going to find their way in. They're just they don't have adrenaline yet, but it doesn't matter. Maru can't spare the army as he kites backwards once again. Again, there's a lift up. Widowmine doesn't hit this time. I mean, it gets a little bit, not a lot. But now there's going to be a drop into the main base, a drop into the third base here. Maru just desperately trying to swarm, channel that speed of yore. These Widowmine drops here, or these medevac drops, they're one-way tickets. The queens are just too much. They're too high in abundance. This army cannot stay around, and keeping the medevacs around means that the medevacs would fall too. So Serral, I mean, yes, he is taking damage. That's 60. That's actually a lot of damage. 17 drones go down, and Serral's economy briefly drops below 60. Like, this is still, I guess, somewhat manageable here. I mean, single Baneling's not going to kill anything, but we need to see that orbital start to get. We need to see that orbital repaired. We need to see Maru batten down the hatches at home, and one way to do that is exactly what Maru's doing. Pressure everywhere on the map. Don't let Serral breathe. Don't let Serral play on your side of the map. It's the best defense. It truly is a good offense. So if Maru can just keep with these double drops, with these triple drops onto the other side of the map, keeping Serral occupied, that is going to have to be his way back into this game. But it is so hard here, and his supply is just not increasing. Despite the damage that he's done to Serral's economy, he's still down 30 army supply against Ling Bane. Yeah, and Maru's just going to have to tap out. He hung on for as long as he could, but he did not believe in his ability to come back against the finisher. And I cannot believe what I saw in that game number 2. That is, you don't win off those timings as a Zerg, but Serral did anyways. And now Maru's down 2 games here in this series. He's 1 map away from getting 3-0'd in this lower bracket. That just doesn't happen. But game 3, it's on the way. And the bottom right with the Eric build once again for Basilisk. He's up 2, 1 map away from a date with ByuN. It's Serral. And in the upper left, in the red, back against the wall. Let's see what he's got in store for us. For Onside Gaming, it's Maru. And it is not often that we see Maru get beaten like that. I know I was talking about it in game 2, but I cannot get over just how much... I can't get over how much Serral has just been manhandling Maru. That's kind of the big thing here. Game 1, Maru went for the 2 Rax opener. Didn't work out super well. Serral runs across the map with 10 roaches, 3 Ravagers, or like 5 Ravagers. Delays the 3rd base for forever. Drops creep on everything. Maru can't move out on the map. And then he has a 7-minute hive, and it's like, well, you know, like hive finished before Link Speed did. Serral went straight from Link Speed into Adrenal. Like it, the craziest timings. And then game 2, Serral, despite desyncing his upgrade, his Evo chambers to make sure he was okay against the 2-on-1 opener, he hits a 15-second 2-2 versus 1-1 window and just kills Maru. Maxes out because Maru was maybe playing a little bit too greedy. Floods across the map, breaks the 3rd, breaks the natural, doesn't break the main. Kills like 40 workers, kills the entire army of Maru as it streams back, and then it's like, well, Maru, you're dead. Have fun. Bye-bye. Just, Maru doesn't lose games like that. Maybe we get to see if this is a little bit different, because for right now, Maru again greedy. It's a 3cc play. And of all the maps, I kind of like it on this one. You know, Neo Humanity is a really good map for a Terran in the late game. These bases on the north side and the south side are really hard for the Zerg to take because of these watchtowers. A Terran can kind of siege up here and break this base and also put pressure on this base, or break this base and also put pressure on this base. They can shove through the middle on the rocks, take these rocks out, knock these rocks down, and then they have a really strong pushing lane that it's really hard for the Zerg to surround. This map tends to be very good for Terrans. But Serral is playing this very differently. He's playing the build that we saw him do against Maru. We've seen this the build we saw him do against Clem. And kind of really everyone. And that is the Roach Warren. You know, Eric build into Roach Warren into very quick lair, but it's not an all-in, it's just a timing. You take a 3rd base behind it, and then you take a quick hive on top because the roaches into the Terran build, they put enough pressure on the map that the Terran freaks out a little bit. You have that timing. It's as much a mind game as it is anything else. Now, in this setup, I think I like what Maru's doing into it. Because Maru is playing 3cc. It's Hellion Reaper. It's not even getting a Banshee, saving all the gas possible. And as long as this roach pressure doesn't kill Maru, it doesn't do significant damage to Maru, which, well, do we have a tech lab on the... Yeah, we do have a tech lab on the factory, so realistically, you should be able to get a tank out or a Cyclone or something. Maru should be very happy here. He'll have his 3rd base. I mean, his 3rd base is done before the Zerg's is, and that is not something that is all that common. He's got almost all of his production in the main base, so the roach pressure isn't going to really force him to lift off and go elsewhere. So Serral is just doing Serral things. And you thought the hive was quick in game number 1, and by the way, it was. This is a 445 infestation pit. This is insanely fast. In fact, this is actually, outside of like 2-base swarm host play, this is the fastest. This is probably the fastest infestation pit I have ever seen. And I don't think this is for swarm host, not against bio. That is not a good solution here. So Serral setting records. He's setting land speed records here in this game number 3 because he knows that Maru is going to be a little bit greedy. This is a 3cc play. He did scout that. So you have options, right? If you scout your opponents being greedy, you have options. You can try to kill them, or you can try to outgreed them. And Serral can't easily out-economically greed them, but this is a 5-15 hive start. Serral's got someplace to be, and that is, I guess, he wants to end this series like as quick as possible. He wants that date with ByuN in the next round. So he's got this hive on the way. It's again going to be the setup where hive may be done before link speed's done. This is ludicrous. And with a hive this quick, by the way, I think we should probably see ultras. Get that ultra cavern as quick as possible. Ultras are not great units. I mean, there's a reason that on my Twitch channel we have the Ultra L emote, or the Ultra emote, but specifically in this matchup, they are good until the Terran gets to 3-3. They're good until the Terran gets to Ghosts or Liberators or something. But up until that point, upgraded Ultras can be very good. Chitinous plating will, in this case, will mean there'll be +3 Ultras, or +3 armor Ultras, which into 1/1 bio, I mean, bio's not going to do any damage to it. So there we go. Ultra Cavern done pretty much as hive starts. Adrenal on the way here as well. +1 attack. Now, these Hellions will fall, and Serral does have to be careful because he's being, as we've said, ludicrously greedy. That in part is what these roaches provide. They're just a beefy unit that, unless Maru actively, like 100% kills Serral, the roaches will be able to force things back for the most part. But Maru is now starting to drop, and that is where roaches are not strong. Roaches do not handle, the roaches are not mobile. They do not handle drops really well at all here. So drop's going to go on top, but the roaches are going to be quick enough on the exchange, but doesn't have to worry about it. I was going to say, can they deal with the drop on that fourth? But Serral took the forward fourth. He took the rich gas fourth, and that just means that he can get Vipers, Ultras, everything his Zergy little heart can desire off of 75 drones. He doesn't need the heavy gas count. He doesn't need 8 gas. He doesn't need 9 gas. He's got this double gas on the forward position, and also it's a really nice reinforcement position that Serral is going to be able to just bust right on through, as the Ultras are now on production. 7 minutes and 40 seconds in. 5 Ultras on the way. Chitinous plating should be done right around the same time that Serral's going to get ready to hit here with +1, with +2 armor. These are going to be +4 Ultras. They're not going to do a ton of damage, but it doesn't matter because they won't die. This first max out from Serral is going to be something of beauty. It's going to be something of terror, but Maru's hitting right before then. Adrenal done right now, but it's about the chitinous. It's about these Ultras. They're going to pop out right now, and one of these can die, but Serral just gives the position up. He's okay with this. He doesn't want to lose the forward base, but in the context of these things, with chitinous, 20 seconds out, +1 attack, 20 seconds out, +2 Carapace, 20 seconds out as well. This initial fight that Serral's going to take, if Maru doesn't kill him right now, I don't see how Maru can hold. I really don't. This army that Serral has built for himself is disgusting, and there are Vipers on the field here. And here comes Serral from every side. 9-minute Ultras with chitinous, the blinding clouds. I mean, the tanks do nothing here. And these Ultras, I mean, one does go down, but they're just taking literally no damage. The army of Maru cannot contest this at all. The army continues to run forward, and Serral runs pell-mell through everything here. It's just not working. Maru, eventually, he's going to clean these Ultras down. But that was, I mean, that was so much from Maru. That was all the tanks down. And now 5 more Ultras on the way. Ultra speed is the next upgrade. That really will make the difference. And the Vipers are going to be even more powerful. They're going to have more strength than at this point. It's just, you're going to drop blinding clouds on the Marines because there are no tanks anymore. There's like 1 on the map. And Ultras now. 5 on the way. Well, actually 2 on the way right now. 3 just pop out here. But Maru, or Serral's going to take the fight anyways. Here come the Ultras again. These 4 armor Ultras. Now they're fast. Now they can chase. And Maru doesn't have +2 attack. He's just starting his +2 attack right now. Armor even slower. And Serral's got his 4th base again. This is ridiculous. This has got to be illegal. Serral's going mass Ultras. He's got 5, 3 more all the way. That's all his money. That's where all of his money is going towards. I mean, yeah, it is obnoxious that this Liberator is going to siege up the 4th, but Serral's got Queens, and he's going to be fine. Here's now Lings and Ultras. Get on top of this army once again. Maru trying to do that Terran thing. I'm just desperately kiting. But these are effectively +4 Lings. They got Adrenal super quick as well, so if you kite and you're moving and you're just moving shot, like kiting shot, stutter step against the ultras, Lings are going to kill the rest of it. This problem that Maru is facing is only really going to get solved by time. And it's time that really that Serral's not giving him. Now, that being said, Roach Warren did go down. That is something. And Serral does want to make sure he can build more roaches to make sure that he can deal with Liberators. Is going to be Maru's solution for the time being. And by the way, just to point this out, Maru's on. This is an 8 racks out of Maru. You know, Maru is. Serral got to Ultras at 8 minutes against a 3-raxing Terran. This build for Maru is supposed to put so much pressure on that Serral can't hold. Instead, Serral's response is, yeah, that's fine. I got Space Cows. It's okay. Like, in the not only is this insanely fast here as Lings get on top of this army once again, not only is this insanely fast out of Serral, in the context of the game that Maru is trying to play, it's even more ludicrous. It really and truly is. But Maru will eventually have +2. +2 attack is now done. He's done a pretty solid job of maintaining his supply, and this might be the timing where Maru starts to get a little happier. He's got his 4th base on the way. Lings now run by into the 3rd, and Maru's a little slow here on the response because his army's on the bottom side. Maru's going to lose a lot of SCVs, but he gets the bottom left side here. Now the question is whether he can escape. What do we have? And actually, they're just going to turn here. It's 2-2, or at least +2 attack from Maru. He's going to try to get what he can. But he only got 1 Ultra. Only got maybe 2 Ultras here. And now Maru getting cleaned up as well, trying to play the multi-prong game. But he's got to be quick on the pickup. And he wasn't. And now most of the army in the sky. Serral moves forward. This is 9 Ultras. This is insane. But here comes Serral from every side. It's the dark angle. He does it with roaches. Serral goes 1 level better. But this setup that Maru has, there's no way that Serral breaks it, right? I mean, the Ultras are just sitting there not fighting for oh so very, very long, but they're just gonna find their way anyways. And the Biles hit, and the Biles are doing so much here. All the SCVs go down and Serral breaks Maru anyways. What do I know? Maru, he gets slapped. What the hell was that? Serral, he's got a date with ByuN next round, but what the hell was that? I don't know. What a 6-minute Ultras, or 8-minute Ultras, whatever it was, 6-minute Hive. Just, okay. What a game. Okay.